Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, CeeChronicles here. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I post fragrance related content on this platform, and if that style of content is something that you like, please do consider subscribing and joining this family. I'd very much appreciate it if you did decide to add to this family, guys. Now, to those who are returning, thank you so much for the continued support. Do take note that I do have a second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted, where on that channel I focus on vlogs as well as Western fragrance reviews, and the link to that channel is in the description. Actually, there's two links. The second link is a PayPal donate link, where if you want to contribute anything at all towards the growth and the purchases of some of the fragrances on the channel, you can click the PayPal link and follow prompts. Now, welcome to today's video, guys. I did a BeastMode Middle Eastern fragrances just before I was admitted in hospital, and it had 10 fragrances, and most of you said please keep bringing these ones. We like the BeastMode ones. Okay, so this is going to be a continuation of some of the fragrances that I feel are BeastMode from the Middle East. And the first one is going to be Vintage Castle from the Niche Emirati line. Now, they do have two that look or that kind of share this type of style of presentation. The second one is a slimmer bottle with like a church-like roof on it or top, right? That one is pleasant. That one is nice. That one smells, it yo-yos in between Minuit et Demi and Love Don't Be Shy. Now, this is a different style of fragrance. Mine has come undone there. The top is kind of, has decided to come apart. So let me just put that back. It doesn't bother me. It's something that I just have to fix. Maybe you have to find a glue or something to make sure that I fix my top. Anyway, let's spray this one and I'll tell you my thoughts. This one is here, guys, because this is a no joke type of fragrance. It's very daring there. It presents as green almost immediately. Aromatic, green, herbal, medicinal. With something that feels like a very busy patchouli. Okay, I like to hold the bottle as I talk, so I was just trying to make sure that I close that. It comes across, it has that patchouli, and I think it's the patchouli that is doing too much. The patchouli in here kind of feels a bit dusty, but it holds on to those elements, right? The green, the aromaticness, the herbalness, the spiciness. It holds on to that. This is one, say you walked into a store. If you like what you smell, you're going to have that on you till the next wash, right? Because it is beastly. I sprayed this one on my curtains, guys, and to put it in a very realistic way, I'm going to say I had the room smelling like a herbal, like a Chinese herbal store, or where they do that holistic medicine and stuff like that. So this is one I'm going to say test first, in case you are not sure of. Test first. But if you are one that loves BeastMode fragrances, fragrances that are not mainstream, this one's going to do it for you guys. Vintage Castle of Lattafa's Niche Emirati collection is the first one on the lineup. Now, the second one is going to be Ajwad. If you own Ajwad, you will know that Ajwad's cap is very wobbly, and I ended up losing mine. I think while the kids were cleaning or something, it just ended up going missing. So I do have mine minus the cap. But this is the Ajwad. This is a fragrance, guys, that scares me. It's a fragrance that's winter toned. It's a combo of the rose and vanilla and some florals, some other florals apart from the rose, and a musk. And it feels very close to Mancera's Roses musk, but it does come across as having like that Arabian twist to it, where it kind of feels Middle Eastern without it being 100% Middle Eastern, that sort of thing. And it is that spicy weight that adds a beastly performance in this one. This one can be borderline pushy, interpreting as a fragrance that can even bother the people around you. So you have to be mindful of the people around you if you're going to be wearing this, especially if you're an oversprayer. If you do 1 or 2 sprays, 3, 4, maybe that's fine. But if you're, one of those people that does 10, 15, 20 sprays, I don't know, guys. I've had mine in my collection for the longest time, and a little goes a long way. So Ajwad, guys, is the second one on the lineup. And while we're talking about Ajwad, I may as well just talk about the second one, the flanker to Ajwad. which is the pink to pink version. Let me take it out. You see, this is what I was referring to about the Ajuat caps being a little wobbly there. Okay, this one was already coming off. I don't know. I just wish they had improved maybe the cap on the new one or something like that, but it just seems as though it's the same style of cap that they gave us. So this is one cap that you're most likely going to lose if you're like me. Okay, so anyway, pink to pink. Let me spray it there. Doesn't feel like Ajuat, the original, first off, but it does feel like it's cut from the same cloth as Ajuat, in the sense that it does feel like it was created in the same vein, longevity-wise. So this is going to give you a presentation of florals there, a burst of florals, but it is the leathery weight in this fragrance that holds up, and to some can be a point where they say, I can't do this. Okay, it starts off very pleasant there with a fruity burst, even sweet, the guava mixing there with lychee. Then immediately after that, there is a transition there that happens that is pretty strange, which makes this one align to an extent with masculine scents, because the leather is leathering. So it is when that leather introduces itself and it stays there hardcore, maybe 6-7 hours, even maybe to the end of the way, that this fragrance asserts itself as a beast mode fragrance. Unfortunately, you lose that opening there almost completely as soon as the leather note asserts itself. You kind of lose that guava, that enjoyable guava that would have drawn you to it. And it is a fragrance that's fairly new in my collection, and if it's performing like this, it's only going to get better, just like what Ajuat, the original, has done. It just thickens and thickens and thickens. So I do have faith in the fact that this one is probably going to be one that lasts a couple of washes, where you wash your clothes and then you iron them and it just rises up, because before it has even macerated, it's doing the most. So number 3 on the lineup, guys, is going to be pink to pink from the house of Latafa. Number 4, I'm going to have to present with this one on the side, because as soon as I am onto something, I like to clue you guys, right? Boo Taina is here from the house of, somebody corrected me last time, so this is why I'm so conscious, just to make sure that I check the name. So Butaina from Our Stuff is here, guys, because of how it has this note that's pretty weird. It is built around pear, something I get from here, but there are differences there in the opening. The fact that this one has like a very prominent bright pear, but as soon as that pear disappears from this one, in the 20-30 minute mark, you start to get something that is very similar to this. So I'm gonna say, for now, guys, at least for now, unless this one changes dramatically, for now it feels redundant to own. I was very happy with this one when I sprayed it first, because it does have that very nice, sweet, powdery pear, very realistic there, and then it just turns into this in the end. Now, what does this turn into in the end? Okay, what to expect is a very sugary, toasty even feel of a caramelized sugar, and in as much as it has the dull feel to it, like it's not sparkly, it's not juicy or anything, because both have the pear. The pear in this is not prominent, it's there but it's gone almost immediately. It's not juicy, it's not fruity, it just has that dull toasted feel of a sugar, a caramelized sugar, and it is that thing that will make you underestimate the performance of this fragrance. I remember when I unboxed it and I sprayed it, I couldn't make out what it was. I was just like, this kind of feels like it's got icing sugar. It kind of feels like it's got brown sugar. It's just like a sucrose type of fragrance built around like a sugar cane, that sort of thing. And I underestimated this. I sprayed it the first time and I ignored it because it was probably lingering around me, but I wasn't feeling it because I had sprayed it on my skin. Now, if you spray this on clothing, guys, this one, as well as this one, that toasty accord, that sugar thing, though dull, doesn't shine, it's not bright, it doesn't whatever, it is just that fragrance that you are going to be able to smell for a couple of days. Somebody actually came in my comment section when I was reviewing this and they said, I sprayed this thing on my pillows and it was going on for days. This has got a magnetic thing to the clothes, especially when I'm wearing this type of material there. If I sprayed on this is gonna last, guys, until I don't know. It's got that sticky nature to it, and I think it's because of that sugar accord. So why I have the two of them, this is Pear Potion from Paris Corner, it's just to clue you up, because because I might not do a side-by-side comparison. It's just to clue you up, guys, that both of them are built around that pear note, and then they dry down to that sticky, toasty, sugar, caramelized, burnt sugar type of feel there, and they are quite strong. So they fall under beast mode to me. If you don't get the beast mode quality, give it time. You're going to get beast mode from this. And another thing that comes to mind, just smelling like this, to explain that sugary thing, but I don't want to throw you off, guys, is it feels like, say you opened a packet of cigarettes, you know, unsmoked cigarettes, that kind of dull smell that you smell there, that it's there, but you can't say it's loud, but it's there. So it does have something in it that feels like that, and it does last, guys, till the next one. Number 5, guys, is Al Rehab's French Coffee. This fragrance is strong, okay? This, I'm not going to spray. My daughter loves this, but it's sticky to me. Simply put, this is your dark roast coffee, amplified. I do have coffee beans somewhere here, or I don't know where I put the little jar there. To best describe this is, if you went to purchase your fragrances in a store and you've smelled 2 or 3 fragrances, and the salesperson comes to you and they say, would you like to smell some coffee beans, so that you just clear your nose and you smell that? That's how this smells like. Now, the con with that particular smell is the wearer turns anosmic. Remember, we smell the coffee beans to clear whatever it is we have smelled. So the wearer for this fragrance tends to turn anosmic. Anyone who says I can't smell this is because you're in a realm of coffee beans. So your nose is already muted per se, but the people around you are going to be smelling this in its prominence. My daughter likes it. She was wearing it in school, and one teacher, she told me this outright, because I asked a couple of months ago, I said, why are you not wearing the French coffee anymore? Because she would come doused in it, and you know, every time she would come there preparing to go to school, into my bedroom and stuff, it would just cloud the whole bedroom. So this one time she comes smelling of a different fragrance. I think it was what you call it, Sublime or something. And I said, oh, why you not spray your French coffee? Have you finished that one? And she said, oh no, one of my teachers, you know, called me to the side and said that fragrance is doing too much. Whatever it is, whether it's sweets or whatever you're carrying, it's doing too much. Guys, this is beast mode. Be mindful of the people around you. They will be able to smell this in its prominence, and it can border on annoying to people who do not like the smell of coffee. So French coffee from the house of Al Rehab, guys, is a recommendation, sitting on 5th position on this lineup. And then there is Kayali's Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. I got mine in a mini because this was one fragrance that was priced way up there when it was introduced, and it was a limited edition. I have it here as a recommendation for those who like beast mode fragrances, and more so that we have an alternative now. I'm not going to say this one is performing 100% in terms of beastness as this one, right? But it's promising. They nailed everything. Paris Corner's December Vanilla, this one, right, represents this one to the T. If you cannot find this one, because one, it was a limited edition, which means, you know, they put it out there and then they stop making it. If you can't find it, try to get your hands on this. You may not get the beastness in this initially, because I'm not getting like an outright beast performing fragrance. It hasn't macerated. If it does and it turns out to be this, then it's going to be well worth it. But if you can, of course, afford the original, then the better, because this fragrance, guys, is for the brave. Opens up with like a rum, and it's got a tobacco note there. It's got patchouli. The notes are actually here. They replicated the very same notes that are here, okay, on this bottle. So it's got rum, it's got vanilla orchid, it's jasmine, another vanilla again, so 2 vanillas there. It's got leather, tonka. It's built around heavyweight notes, and it is those heavyweight notes, guys, that give this one a longevity that is remarkable. So if you can get your hands on Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli by Kayali, you will thank me later in terms of a fragrance that's worth the price, that's worth the coins, because a little goes a long way. However, if you cannot, or you prefer a subtler version, then I have December Vanilla to recommend for you. But don't come for me if this one is not performing as good as this one. It's just that I'm here to clue you up, guys. So that is Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli from Kayali, sitting on number 6. On 7th position, guys, is going to be Ultra Citrus from Paris Corner. And I love citrus fragrances, but I can tell you outright, guys, the reason why this one is still on this position, despite me having this one in my collection for over a year and a half, closing on 2 years, is because of how polarizing the citrus is. This is citrus on steroids. If you know somebody who loves citruses and they say, oh, I wish I could get a citrus fragrance that lasts the whole day, that people can smell, tell them to purchase this fragrance, guys. I'm not sure if you can get this one easily anymore, but if you can and you love citruses, this is going to be your BeastMode citrus fragrance. It's built around everything that creates an intense concoction of a citrus, which is the lemon, the bergamot, I think the grapefruit, the orange, the tangerine, you know, the leaves from the verbena, the petitgrain, all that, building a mixture that feels like a concentrate of the citrus. So it makes it all about the citrus, lasting till the next wash. So for those who say citruses are volatile, this one is made in such a way that you will feel the citrus, and the people around you are going to tell you that you are smelling either lemony or orangey or citrusy, whichever way they want to put it. So it's beastly, guys. Ultra citrus from the house of Paris Corner. 8th on the lineup is going to be Astaf's Gaïd, right? This is inspired by Mancera's red tobacco. And if you love red tobacco and you can get your hands on this one, this is at par, guys. I did try them side by side. You won't be missing much. And unfortunately, this one doesn't seem hyped or anything like that. Not a lot of people have spoken about it on YouTube. I think I'm one of the people that keep talking about it, but I'm here to clue you up about the longevity of this fragrance. Don't let the price point make you think that this is a fragrance that's not going to be value for money. It gives you that realistic raw tobacco leaf smell, and then it's got some oud, some incense, the woods, the spices. I think it's got nutmeg. I'm going to say caution. Say you were to wear this one to church, you're going to have a side eye, especially if it's those churches that say do not smoke, do not drink, that type of thing. You're going to have a side eye because this is going to come across as though you were interacting with tobacco, especially that tobacco that you roll in that in that piece of paper, or the shamrocks and stuff like that. It does feel a lot like that, guys, but it's intoxicating, it's alluring, it's seductive at the same time. Complex, but very nice. And in as much as the notes point to a fragrance that's going to be in a masculine type of vibe, it softens, not to make it weak, but just gives a roundup of a intoxicating, enduring fragrance, but that is safe enough for both genders to wear. So this is 8th on the lineup, guys. Number 9, guys, is going to be Amaf's Club de Nuit Intense Women, and this one says women, but I can assure you it's genderless, right? It is inspired by Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, a fragrance that is unisex, so anybody can wear this. It is built around spices. It has a touch of nutmeg and a black pepper there that makes it very spicy there, and there's an underlying oud that is not enough to disturb this or push it to Middle Eastern or make it be a fragrance that I'm going to say, if you don't like oud, don't wear this. No, it has a subtle oud there. Then there is a sweet wrap up there coming from the vanilla and a little bit of some florals. So this is not a linear fragrance. For some it might be linear, but it is a fragrance that at some stage, personally, I get a nutmeg more, and then at some stage I get that spicy pepper more, and even a little bit of a creaminess there. So it's just going to be dependent on your nose. But one thing I can say about this is it's a bold, intoxicating, rich mixture. It doesn't come across as a lighty to my nose, though it can be worn all year round. I can see how some people will not wear this one in the heat because it can borderline do too much. But of course, if your nose is hardened, you can possibly pull it off even in the heat. It just comes across to me as a cooler weather type of fragrance because of that boldness that it has, the depth that this fragrance has, and it's the patchouli in this that ties everything together, guys, to give it a decent longevity there. So if you are one who loves fragrances with a decent lasting power, this I would recommend. I would recommend as a safe one. And this is not as scary as, say, for instance, the Ajwad or this one. This is safe enough to enjoy all through, whether you want to douse it or not. But it just does come across to me as a concentrated fragrance, which is why I qualified it here as one of the best performing fragrances, guys. Club de Nuit Intense Women from the house of Amaf. And then last on the lineup, guys, is going to be Shachaf Oud Azraq. Now, this Oud Azraq, the Shachaf line, guys, they have made more and more, and I keep slagging and slagging and slagging because I can just see my pocket sinking and sinking and dwindling. Okay, I just have this one to recommend to you guys as a Beast performing fragrance. If you love unique fragrances, this is going to do it for you. There's a leather that ties everything together here, cinnamon as well, so it's going to be spicy. It's got the patchouli there, oud, honey, vanilla, that sort of thing. Is going to smell very exotic there. Some are going to find this one Middle Eastern leaning because it has, you know, a presentation of those spices, the woods, and a touch of animal, and something that you will identify with some of the fragrances that you get from the Middle East. But why it's here, guys, is this Beast performing nature. It's Oud Azraq, and that's the 10th and last one on this lineup. So that's it, guys. Those are the Beast performing fragrances that I had to show you here. Those are recommendations for anybody who loves fragrances that last long. And please do remember that with fragrances, guys, it's no specific. Some people will come here and say, I have that, it doesn't smell that, you know, strong. It just depends on your nose. I personally find these fragrances beastly, and that is why I chose to bring them here. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, where we'll obviously discuss more about fragrances. Do turn on post notifications on both my channels. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Meanwhile, like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.